Okay, so let me say from the off, this is not an easy car to drive. Not for me anyway. I feel like I'm a little bit more used to, I'm probably more suited to kind of like heavier cars, heavier, slower turning cars, where there's not that much range of movement in terms of how much you can get out of the car. So being that accurate with them is, I mean, it has its own sort of like challenges, but with a car like this is very, very nimble, and its range of movement is a lot more than that of the of like the Bentleys and the M6s. So there's a lot more chance for you to maybe get it wrong with this car. So you have to be quite accurate when driving a car like this. It's like, again, it's not a bad drive. Like, I do like it. I just find it a little bit sketchy at times. Sometimes it can be really unpredictable, especially like in fast corners. I feel like this car, out of all the cars I've tested on this track, this car was the one that I felt very close to changing the rear wing up to like 2 or maybe 3 clicks, because going up Eau Rouge was like, it just wasn't happening for a little bit. I was like, okay, I can't get up this damn thing. Every time I do it, it's just completely spinning out. But eventually I was able to sort it out in the setup, but even then I did a race with it as well with one wing, and following behind somebody with one is dodgy, so you may want to be going to 2 or 3, but you know, your mileage will vary. Top end speed of this car isn't hugely great. It's roughly the same as the M6 and the Z4 R8 category in terms of top end speed. I feel like I could have got another. I did hear 2:16.6, and I feel like I could get another 2-3 tenths out of it. From my personal, like skill level, but I don't feel like I could get out any more. Not at this time anyway. People more experienced with this car, I'm sure, I would probably say they'll get like a very low 16. If somebody gets like a 15 with this car, like that's really impressive. But yeah, it's definitely going to have some difficulties on this track in terms of, because it's obviously its saving grace is its cornering speed. Like, its cornering speed is great, but at the same time can be temperamental at times. So you have to be on your guard with this car. But what you gain in cornering speed on this track anyway, you just I feel like you're just going to lose it on the straights, basically. Like, I feel like it is faster than the Bentleys and, like the Porsche or whatever when it comes to some corners, but at the same time I feel like I think it'll maybe faster in like 2 tenths in the middle sector maybe, but then like when it comes to the straights I feel like it's losing a good half a second at least, most likely more. So yeah, you're gonna have to be careful driving this car. This is a very challenging car. I feel like it's more so for those people that are just fans of McLaren. They love driving it, but you will have a difficult time. You will have a harder time than you would in the other cars, whether it be sprint races or endurance races. I mean, I've already told you about sprint because its straight line speed isn't great and cornering speed isn't that much better than everything else. And then if you go on to endurance, I mean, well, in fact, it's actually quite surprising. Its fuel consumption is just slightly worse than the Bentley. So like the Bentley used 3.85 per lap, and this one uses 4. I think it was range around between 3.95, but about 4 worst case scenario. So not really that good. Well, I mean, it's not really that good, especially when it's not. I don't feel like it can be as fast, but maybe I'm just driving it wrong. Hopefully somebody out there will show me how and show me how to really drive a car like this. But at the moment, I'm struggling to see what it has to offer other than the cornering speed. I mean, braking was pretty decent as well, but I don't know. It didn't feel that much. It felt good. I'd say almost as good as the R8 for me, but not that much better than any other cars, like considerably anyway. But yeah. So endurance wise, let's see here, for comparing it to, say, the Bentley needs 154 for a 90-minute race, and the 650s needs 160. So that's 5 more, and because the Bentley has like a 5 less tank, they're basically roughly putting in the same amount of fuel. For the 650s it's 40, for the Bentley it's 39, so you know, basically the same, and the Bentley's going to be quicker per lap, I think, anyway, so it will just lose out on this track, I guess, unfortunately. But then even on the slower tracks, say like on the more sort of like windier tracks, I feel like the Bentley would still be in with a chance to beat him on one of the straights, basically, or at least in the pits either. So we'll see. I mean, it's obviously better than the AMG and the C7, but well, in terms of like fuel economy, but I mean compare it to the to the C7 again, 184 for the C7. So the C7 needs to pit 40 litres. This one, no, C7 needs to pit 65 or 64. This one, the 650s needs to pit 40. So that's a difference of 12 seconds. Okay, yeah, 12 seconds. So oh yeah, 12 seconds, basically the same as the Bentley. So it will, but I feel like the C7 will be gaining quite a bit in each lap as well, and it's easier to drive too. So yeah, at the moment, I wouldn't really say there's not a lot going for it, other than it's a good challenge. Basically, you will have a harder time, and obviously like the Audi R8s and the Z4s and the 911s and M6s will just be beating it. You know, they would have similar pace to it, except for the 911, which I think is definitely quicker, and they'll just be, you know, battering it in terms of fuel economy. So compare it to the M6. The M6 would need 134 compared to its 160, so that means the M6 needs to pit 34, 15, that's basically 19 litres for the M6, and the 650s is 40. That's a difference of 21, that's basically 10 seconds. So it's going to gain 10 seconds in each in the pits, and I think it's similar paced. So yeah, there you have it, really. I mean, again, like I said, it's a fun drive. It's a different sort of drive, obviously, because it's a lot more nimble, a lot better turning. Definitely good on faster corners. Mid-corner understeer, but you know, the straight line speed is just lacking, basically. As well as braking is, you know, is good, but not amazing. And yeah, so like, you know, that's basically it, really. You know, if you want a good challenge, drive this car, but I don't think anybody's going to be racing in that recent GT3 race happening this week anyway, for the time being. So but yeah, anybody who does race in that and is beating all the C7s, I mean, sorry, not C7s, the Z06s, then boy, that guy's the ultimate racer. But yeah, I mean, you know, try out the setup, see what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think, and you know, I'll catch you guys later. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you soon.